Welcome and follow me to the launch of Wizzy 2.0. Let's go. Now, we all know that you're here because tax pros are tired of doing this thing the old way. Tax pros are spending an hour or an hour plus doing every single tax return. And when you think about it, it's like, oh, it don't take me an hour. When you think about the entire time from when you actually get the documents, organizing the documents, recategorizing or filing the information if you're physically in person, then you might actually go enter the return or pay someone else to enter the tax return. And then you might review it or have to have a final reviewer that goes through and check everything, then maximize and minimize the return. And that's not including the back and forth when your client sent you something after you already started working on the return that now changes how you want to approach it. It's just all of that process that might not seem that terrible at first, but as we all know, over the 90 days of tax season, those hours drastically add up. Now, we're not saying that we're going to solve every single thing that goes on with your clients in the tax pro industry, but what we can promise is by the end of this call, you will understand how you take that hour or so process down to as little as 3 to 5 minutes. And the other things that you're going to realize as you see it live, as you hear how customers are using it, and as you really start to think about how you could possibly use it, that's where you'll see the opportunities of how you actually going to even make more money this tax season by now being able to compete with TurboTax because you can go so much faster, being able to do estimates faster and get more clients, being able to reallocate resources. And we really enjoy your time and we really appreciate your time. We don't take that lightly. So we're going to make sure also that by the end of this, you're going to get an exclusive offer where listening to this entire webinar just for you to be able to use today, get started using AI and take your taxes to the next level. So let's get out all the jargon and let's get this party started. All right, let's get the boring part out of the way. Why are we qualified? Real quick, I'm Tevin Harrell, CEO of SmartWiz. I'm an engineer by degree. I actually got into the tax industry in 2016, was working under a tax firm for 2 years, just doing it as a side business while still working an engineering job. And in 2018, we started our first company, TaxWiz, which was tech-enabled services, doing virtual before virtual was all the rage. And we were growing that business 100% every single year. First year, maybe 100 customers to 200 customers to the point to where we were doing thousands of tax returns per season. And that's where we saw the problems of, man, doing taxes kind of sucks sometimes. Just as much as it is the back and forth, it's just so many inefficiencies. There's so many people that we end up having to hire to help us do data entry, to do communication, to help clients with problems, to walk them through our systems, to handle all of the questions coming in, the questions after the return. And that's what made us start SmartWiz. We're like, hey, we're technical enough to do something about this. We know enough engineers and we banded together this team to be able to go and solve the world's hardest problem. And then that magic little 2 letters came out, AI, that everybody's talking about. And we said, how can we leverage AI to be able to make tax pros go 10 times faster, make 10 times more money, and give them superpowers? We also got investments from Google. We got investments from Techstars LA, a bunch of serial entrepreneurs who sold for billions of dollars. We got a lot of mentors in our court, Pharrell Williams, the rapper, and so on and so forth. You can look that up. Let's get back to why we're actually here, which is what do we have going on now? How are we about to solve your problem? How are we going to make you more money? How are we going to save you a lot more time to be able to take your business to the next level? So without further ado, let's look at one click. All right, so now let's look at why our customers are so excited. Why are people talking about SmartWiz? Why are we everywhere? Why are we getting invited to the biggest stages? And it is because the moment you've been waiting for, Wizzy 2.0. Now, let's get into Wizzy 2.0. All the things that you can do is no better way to do it than to see it, right? So basically how Wizzy 2.0 is going to work is it's going to always be sitting on your browser right there waiting for you to go. So right now you can see the software is up, your tax software, and all you have to do is press it. Once you press it, it automatically moves over your existing software. In this, you can view clients, of course. You can see who you've already done and already will do. But if you were starting this thing from scratch, this is how you would go about it. So you're going to press this button right here that says add a client. Now, when we say add a client, you can add a client from any source of truth. What does that mean? That means you use JotForm to get your client's intake. If you use Cognitoform, if you use TextDome, if you use SweetDash, if you still have people come in person and they literally handwrite it, we could also read that. Transcripts, whatever your favorite CRM or whatever your source of truth, your clients email you the documents. We can read those things, we can understand them, and then we can automatically create that client for you. So as you see right here, you just dragged over some of the information. In real time, it is going through, it is analyzing those forms, it's recategorizing those for you, changing the name, seeing, yes, this is a W-2. Even if your client gave you a whole bunch of documents and a whole bunch of images that say PDF 32771, we can look at that and say, that's a retirement form, and then we can change it to the name 1099R for compliance purposes. Once you actually finish and we create that client and recategorize and analyze the tax return for you. This is when the magic happens. So here you can go through that client. You can review every single thing that was uploaded. You can view documents. You can review information. You can zoom in and out. You see the labels here that tells you what the document is. We can identify who's the spouse, who's the dependent automatically right there on the return. And now, once you have all that information, you're feeling good, you're feeling confident, you're gonna press this magic button right here called the one-click return. Once you press that button, it's starting to think about the information, it's starting to analyze the tax return. And right now, in real time, I'm not touching anything. It is going through and it is preparing the first draft of that tax return. What do I mean when I say prepare the first draft of that tax return? I mean, it can do the main information. It can do W-2s, 1099-Rs, interest forms, student loans, credit questions for earned income credit and child tax credit. It can go and even answer the first draft of due diligence questions. It can fill out your bank application. Just tell us in settings which bank you use, whether that's CPG, Refund Advantage, or any other bank. And in real time, doing the states and just filling out that tax return for you in literally a matter of 60 to 90 seconds, depending on the complexity of the return. Magic. Yeah, I know it. Some of the common questions are like, well, how accurate is it? Right now, we're saying that we do 85% of the tax return right there on the spot. And just think about that time. And once you see this thing is done, the best thing about this is that it's AI, which means that it gets smarter and smarter and smarter as the tax season goes. So all you have to do is literally come here, click this button, and train your AI tax preparer in real time and just tell it, what did it do well? What did it do not so well? Or how you would have went about something or something that you wish you had. It's noted and it's only going to get smarter. So just imagine what's going to happen by the end of the tax season. And we made reviewing even easier too. So when you're actually in the client's information, you can look at the document right there side by side, make it bigger, make it smaller, mark as reviewed if you have a team. And just in a matter of seconds, check against your organizer that you uploaded. Real quick scan, boom, that tax return is ready to go. You can do any updates that you want, finish that thing to go, and send that off to the client. What makes this also so amazing is we will never overwrite your information. So if you have a previous client, you have a template in your software, then Wizzy will say, boom, you already got that covered. I'm going to go fill in the gaps, which makes it even faster. What we're doing over and over and over again is how do we continue to do more forms in less time, more complexity, more information, and you still be able to do what you do best, which is find more ways to maximize the tax return and find more ways to have relationships with your clients so that they can refer and use your other products and services. And that's what this thing is all about. So what we've been doing over the last couple of months is we've had 300 tax firms paying customers excited about this product, this new product that's been the early adopters and helping get Wizzy and take it to a whole nother level. And the results were staggering. We're seeing people do tax returns in 60 to 90 seconds. We was able to adapt and see more platforms we can integrate with. So thank some of our early customers for the Jot form and the Cognito form and all of those different things. And we were able to see real results. But it's nothing like actually hearing from the people. So I'll just read them here. So we have Portia Dozier of J&J Trilogy Accounting Services from Winter Garden, Florida, who says, I love One Click, not only because it's a total game changer, because I was seriously thinking about hiring a data entry person, maybe my husband, but now there's no need. This thing does it all for you, saves hours of manual work and eliminated errors, and literally bought me back my time. And now I might have to turn him into a marketer. Raymond Buchanan of Structured Financial Services in Birmingham. Shout out to BHAM. One Click changed everything for me. My turnaround time improved instantly. It was taking me days to get back to people sometimes, just from being overwhelmed. Production became seamless, and I no longer needed to hire so much extra staff. It cleared the bottleneck and gave me space to take on more projects effortlessly. That's what it's all about. We have Lake Mitchell from Lake Tax and Advisory Group out there in Chicago, Illinois, saying, not only do I love One Click, but I really need this thing because it eliminates the need for the typical 249 other tools that you got to lump together just to get the job done during the tax season.